So let's talk about them. I refer to them as owner base, right? Now, owner base to me should be split up into two areas. One is, and I want to split them up between owner base relationship management and then owner base relationship marketing. So basically, marketing owner base and management owner base. Let's start with, so there those two are. If you want to write them down, there they are. That's what I refer to them on. They're in your owner base. They're sold customers. They're onboarded clients, right? And we break them down into two areas, right? The management piece and then the marketing piece. See, too many people don't understand this yet. The top performers out there understand it better than anybody. This is the number one missed opportunity. The people that have already said yes to us, we tend to ignore. Now, I've done this on stage many times. I always say it's kind of like we work harder in the dating process than we do when we're married or when we're living together. And that's unfortunate because the magic really happens. The relationships are built the most once we're living together or married, or once somebody's written a check and agreed to do business with us. This is really when we can scale our business rather than chasing new business, okay? So the greatest top performers always know this. I was just talking to a salesperson the other day. He sells over 1,000 cars a year, which is phenomenal. But all he does is work that owner-based business, both for referrals and repeats, okay? And he understands that business very well. And that's how he's made his fortune, right? Not chasing that new business. Let's talk about the management piece first. What do I mean by owner-based relationship management? Again, this is a relationship business. So both are a relationship with our owner base. But what's the difference between management and marketing is really the question, right? So I'm going to go through management first. Okay. They said yes. Now, what is it? Well, it's the relationship or the rapport piece. This is where we need to get to know each other. You say, well, Glenn, I got to know them when I was onboarding them for using financial advisors. I got to know them. I had 4 consults with them. I know, but that's you're typically there's a small amount of rapport and a lot of product, which I think is backwards, but unfortunately that typically happens. So now when they've onboarded, we want to, even if you have rapport, this is the difference between just dating and being married. If you want them forever, you've got to continually build that rapport, build that relationship. It's managing that relationship. We are selling nothing here. They've already bought. They go, Glenn, well, how do I get referrals? I say, listen, I got more referrals from people that I never asked for referrals for. How do you do that? Well, I built my rapport. They become friends. They become on my bus. They're not just a client anymore. And that's really got to be the mindset here. So how often? Well, I mean, at the end of the day, take what you're doing for follow-up now. A lot of you on this call, financial advisors specifically, you're touching base with your client when they call you or to do a review of their portfolio, and you're typically doing that once a year. If you're on this call with Global, you might, well, I got my stuff in, so the only time I'm going to touch base is on my regular program, every 3 months, every month, every 6 months, whatever, or when I get a new program, or when they're pissed off. Well, that's not good enough, right? We want to up it. So I'm not going to give you an exact when you should do it because everybody's got a different program. But if you're doing it currently every 6 months, advisors out there, I want you to back it up. Ultimately, I would like everybody out there to be touching base with their clients in some form in every 45 days. And that could be 45 days, they get a visit. 45 days later, they get a phone call. 45 days later, they get an email. 45 days later, they get a text. And you're just continually working. You're not selling anything, but you always have to have a reason. It's rapport. Now, I always say when I'm doing my rapport, I tailor it to all my clients. So some of you out there right now are saying, Glenn, I've got 200 households in my portfolio. I got 400 households. How am I ever going to do that? Well, now you got to look at your business. And you got to say, okay, if I want to go after high net worth, or if I want a client that's giving me tons of business versus just my stuff on a shelf, if you're in the warranty business for some of you out there, but what you want to do here, right, is get more out of the client. So you might be shrinking the amount of customers, of clients, and getting more out of each of them. Now, that's a decision you're going to have to make, but I hate hearing, well, I don't have time for that. Well, if you don't have time for that, I suggest that your book isn't scaling properly, right? Well, how long should the rapport last? How long should I be building rapport? Forever. And you're going to hit people that you connect with more than others. Focus hard on those people that you really connect with.